Hi everybody. Our Chachamim instructed us that throughout the month of Elul leading up to Rosh Hashanah, we should add one chapter of Tehillim to our morning tefillot and our evening tefillot. This chapter of Tehillim begins with the words LeDavid, Hashem, Ori v'ishi. To David, Hashem is my light, he is my salvation. And I expect that if the Chachamim instructed us to add this, they believed that somehow included in the words that David HaMelech wrote in this chapter are ideas or messages or insights that the Chachamim felt are important for us to dwell upon, to reflect upon as we draw closer to Rosh Hashanah. So let's take a look at the very first word of the chapter, LeDavid. Now clearly in the plain reason that it's added is to tell us that it was David HaMelech himself who authored the rest of the chapter. But in including the name LeDavid, I think it also gives us an opportunity to stop and to think about the image of the personality of David HaMelech that's invoked by the name LeDavid. Now we may think, of course, David HaMelech, the great warrior, the great king, the great servant of God. But it's important to remember that David HaMelech was the youngest of the sons of Yishai, and his father never expected him to amount to anything. He was seen as the least accomplished, the least talented, the least likely to be a source of inspiration. When Hashem commanded Shmuel HaNavi to go to Yishai's family and to find one of his sons and anoint him king, Yishai could not conceive of the fact that his youngest son David was possibly a candidate. In fact, when Yishai brought his sons to stand in front of Shmuel HaNavi for him to anoint him, he didn't even bring David HaMelech there because he didn't think that this little puny red-headed boy could ever amount to be somebody who would inspire a family, a community, a nation, and even all of Jewish history. So why mention it? Maybe it's because David is an example of how we miscast and misjudge sometimes ourselves and those close to us. We don't think that they can do things amount to much, or we can't do things. David was such a little boy. His father didn't believe in him, but Hashem did. Sometimes we need to cut loose the preconceived notions we have of ourselves and our abilities and our limitations, or those of the people around us, whether they be friends or acquaintances, and believe, as Hashem does, that each and every one of us has potential that once unleashed can change the world. It's a Torah thought. It only takes a moment. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.